let me press Ctrl T. Let me hold the Shift key so that it maintains the sizes on all the sides. Let me hold the Shift key and then resize. Let me use the Move tool. Let us apply the transformation. Apply. Select the Move tool and place it here. Right? Or I can delete this layer and I can select this tool. This is the Type tool. We can select this, click here, and then type the name you want to add. And I can always select this and then change the size. Let me move and then press the Enter key. Now when you press the Enter key while using the Type tool, you'll have to press the button which is on the right hand corner of the keyboard. Now beside the numbers, press the Enter which is on the right hand corner. Alright, and I can always go back and change the color. Let's change to white and click OK. And I zoom in. Let me zoom out a little. Right? And this is how you use the Type tool and a polygonal lasso tool. Now let me show you how exactly the magnetic tool works. It's pretty much similar to a magnet. Now let me hide these layers and then select the background, and I can make a selection by clicking once here, and then I need not click again and again. It would automatically make the selection. And to move, you can press the space bar and press the left button on the mouse and then move. Right? The selection is made automatically. Now the selection above here is invalid, so I can always go back by pressing the delete key. Then again come back from inside, you can press delete, or I can click here to make a selection also. Let me click here, click here and do it again, click here again, because this particular tool selects the high resolution images. So let me click here again and then just drag. Let me delete and then go back and make this selection again. I pretty much do not use this particular tool because it's a bit complicated. Click here. I'm manually clicking these areas because it is attracted to only the high resolution area, not the darker areas. Then to complete the selection, come to the starting point and then click. The selection is made. I can create a new layer and then I can always inverse the selection and then fill in the color. Right? But when I zoom in, the quality differs. Right? Let me click on this tool, on this layer. Look at the quality, the selection. Alright, so this is how a magnetic tool works. Let me go ahead and save this image as iPhone. Let me click OK. Let me close this image and close this image also. Or instead of closing this, let us move on with the other tool, which is the Magic Wand tool. Again, Magic Wand tool is also used to make selections. It selects the darker areas and the pixels to similar colors. Say I have this background in blue, it's completely blue. I need to select the whole area. I can either do it by pressing Control and clicking here, or let me deselect, or I can select the wand tool and select the tolerance to 32 and then click here. The selection is again made. Right, let me deselect now. I can come back to this background. Say I want to select this particular area, the area with similar color, which is silver. Let me click, and to make multiple selections I can always select this option which says add to selection. Click here and then click here once again and again. Let me click here. You can always use this tool on a higher resolution image. Let me deselect here and let me go with this particular area which has black, right, which is, let me click here, so it selects all the black areas here, and I can always add some feathers and change the color, fill in a different color by pressing Alt and backspace, and let me deselect. Color is changed, right? I can always zoom in here and then select the magic wand tool and make a selection, and then again press Alt backspace. Color is filled. Let me deselect. Alright, so this is how a wand tool works, a magic wand tool. Okay, so let me save this and then let me close this image now. Now let's move on further with the crop tool, and the shortcut for that would be C. Let me open up Adobe Bridge and let me open some of my photographs. Let me maximize this image. Now the crop tool, as I said, as it says, is used to crop the images. For example, say I want this particular image, right, only this area out of this image, and I want to remove the rest. I can inverse this selection, right, and then delete the remaining areas. I can do that, but what about these white backgrounds? I don't want this particular area, I just want this image. Let me undo this. Let me select the crop tool and then make a selection. To make a selection, just click once, drag, and then release. You can adjust. Then I can always come back here and I make adjustments, right, and then press enter or double click inside the selection. The image is cropped, right, and again I can come back here and again crop it, right. Now let's close this and let's move on further, and I would be teaching you about this slice tool in the future tutorials. Let's ignore this currently and let's move on with this tool, which is the spot healing brush tool. Let me open up Adobe Bridge and then open up this image which I googled it and just got this image. Now let me select this spot healing brush tool. Now this tool is used to remove or modify or clone an area. Say for example I want to remove this particular pimple here, right? So what I can do is, first I can duplicate this layer, create a duplicate by dragging and dropping it to the new create new layer option and release, right? There's a copy here, and let me go ahead and try removing this particular pimple by selecting the spot healing brush tool. Let me come here and click. The pimple is gone, right? And similar ways I can click here. What it does is it copies and